Okay, so today I'm going to show you how I start out with my sourdough starter and how I make calzones. And I'm making it an easier way today. Normally I take a piece of the dough, like about a baseball or a softball size, and then smash it down, roll it out, put the fillings in, and then seal up the corners in like a half moon shape. That's how I normally make calzones, but it kind of takes a lot of time. So I'm going to try it a different way today. It's almost like those pinwheels, those little pinwheel appetizers or whatever. I think I have a blog post about that, but these will be sort of bigger ones. This is just to save time in rolling all of that out. So I will show you how I do that today with my sourdough. I've never done it with sourdough before because now that I've perfected my recipe, which you can find, by the way, if you search online for Kitchen Cop easy sourdough recipe or something like that, you'll see my newest post that shows you exactly how to do it and how it's so easy. I made it so hard for so many years. So check this out, how I make my sourdough calzones. Check out the bubbles on my starters. So these 2 jars I fed last night. These are my regular starters that I just keep in the fridge, and then I pull some off when I want to make bread, which is what I did last night, and added some flour to it to feed it because I'm going to make bread today. Some sourdough calzones, but I just love these bubbles. I didn't have quite 2 cups of starter, so I'm going to add some more from my jars that I fed last night. Look at how bubbly and wonderful this is. I love it. So I ended up using about 2 2/3 cup of starter. So then I adjusted my original calzone recipe so that I could use it with my sourdough starter. That meant that I used a cup of warm water and about, I don't remember what the recipe was for the butter, so I'm just using a hunk. Next is a 1/4 cup of molasses and a 1/3 cup of raw honey. So I've got the molasses and the honey in there, and next I'm going to add my flour. So I have some whole grain einkorn that I put in my food mill to grind up the fresh berries, and then I keep it in the freezer. And then I also have some organic all-purpose flour that I got from my club order. So I got the flour in, and next is the salt, and that's it. Then I'm just going to mix it up and let it set for a few minutes and then come back and roll it out for the calzones. I'm doing 1 1/2 batch because I have very big eaters. This dough turned out really good. You can see that it's not sticky, and it's not too dry or too moist, and it pretty much cleaned off the sides almost of the bosh. And so now I'm just gonna let it sit a minute. Sometimes you just never know with your dough. Sometimes it might be too wet and it wouldn't like hold its shape, so then you just add a little more flour. And if it's too dry, you can add a little more water, but it's easier to add more flour than it is to add more liquid. So I just pulled my dough hook out so I can let it sit here a minute. You wouldn't actually have to let it sit. A lot of times I would just start rolling out the calzones right away, but I have a couple things I want to do, so I'm just going to let it sit here for a few minutes. So I got it all rolled out, and instead of making regular calzones this time where you have to get a ball in your hand and roll out each piece and then wrap it all up, I'm going to try doing it like this because I think it'll be faster. So I split it in 2 because I had some frozen chicken in the freezer and some leftover enchilada sauce. So I'm making this one sort of like chicken enchilada calzones, sort of. And I'm gonna put cheese on it in a minute. And then this one I had some Canadian bacon from Costco. The ingredient label wasn't too bad. And then I had some pasta sauce in the fridge So normally I use pizza sauce, but the kids like to leave unopened jars of regular pasta sauce in there. So I'm using that up, and I'm gonna sprinkle some Italian seasonings on top. So this one, I'll put mozzarella on, and it'll be more like a pizza, and this one I'll use cheddar on the taco-ish one. So I got the Italian seasoning on. Now I'm gonna shred my cheese, and for those of you that were on the Facebook group the other day and I was asking about that, I ended up just getting the replacement blade for only 10 bucks. And so I'm gonna get all my cheese shredded and put that on here next. Glad I bought that $10 blade. Now this thing's not working at all for some reason. Lovely. So it's the old-fashioned way. Got the mozzarella shredded, and next I'm doing the cheddar. Okay, it's all ready to roll up, and then I'll let it rise and bake it later. I hope this works, this new method I'm trying. So as I'm rolling it, I'm just giving it a little help with one of these little, I love this thing, I use this for a lot of stuff. I'm just helping it to roll up so it's not sticking to the counter. I got one rolled. Okay, I got them all sliced and put on my pans with parchment paper, and now they're gonna rise here in the sunshine. Over here, I kind of have a mess on my counter, but that is where this comes in handy then. I just scoop everything up with that and then wipe it up. Look how yummy these turned out.